Hello, good evening and welcome to the Primetime News coming to you live on DBS Television from our Douala studio. At the anchor, I am Amadou Jallo Buba. Our news begins right away. Structures of the Daido District Hospital have been given a facelift and new equipment provided. The rehabilitation work has been carried out by the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, CERAC. The General Coordinator of CERAC, Madame Linda Yang, today handed over the structure and some equipment to health authorities of the littoral, as Philip Sote tells us.
The Daido District Hospital new look, completely transformed and equipped to render effective, efficient and affordable health care to the population. That total transformation has been carried out thanks to the Circle of Friends of Cameroon under the leadership of Cameroon's First Lady Chantal Biya. This Wednesday, July 19, was thus the D-Day. The hospital premises was crowded out of the ordinary. Members of CERAC clad in their uniforms, the entire administration of the littoral region, members of government, especially of littoral extraction, traditional rulers of the Sawa land whose attires could not be missed out, like supporters of the ruling CPDM party, and then the happy recipients, personnel of the Daido District Hospital, including a cross-section of the population, curious to see how the Daido District Hospital gets set to offer quality health care. The equipments were on display: beds, wheelchairs, buckets, standby generator, drugs, among others. All of these added to the new coat of painting that has been given to the hospital. As the General Coordinator of CERAC, Madame Linda Yang, did mention, by choosing the Daido District Hospital, CERAC went back memory lane to launch a clarion call for solidarity, to humanity, and civic responsibility. She used the occasion to reiterate that CERAC, with a non-political or profit goal, was a group of women determined to assist the needy and vulnerable group of society. Madame Yang challenged the personnel of the hospital to make maximum, effective and judicious use of the equipment for the benefit of the population. Words of gratitude also came from the government delegate to the Douala City Council, the Littoral Regional Delegate of Public Health, the head of the Daido District Hospital, who all expressed gratitude at the humanitarian gesture, saying it will go a long way to resolving the health needs of a cross-section of the population. Cultural manifestations graced the occasion, including a musical piece by a son of Daido, Ben Deka, who thrilled the population.
Away from that good news there from the Daido District Hospital, now we will be taking you to Yaoundé, where we'll be discussing diplomacy. The Italian ambassador to Cameroon, Samuela Isopi, shall, in a few days to come, to the end of her 4-year diplomatic mission in the country. She had a farewell press conference this Tuesday evening with media men, and discussion were centered on her achievements, level of satisfaction, regrets, and lessons learned during her stay in the nation's political capital of Yaoundé. The ambassador expressed satisfaction and pleasure working in Cameroon. The staff embassy were glad to bid her farewell with some gifts of a decorated chair. Now we continue with what is making news here in the littoral region. Lightyear Tech has launched its activities in Cameroon in partnership with its local distribution company. Their products shall be made available and affordable in the market not long from now, as we hear in the paper that follows by Rahel Ule Abia.
Tech technology is set to evolve on a daily basis with the need to ameliorate the living standard of the people so that everyone can consume light and not power.
They're leading into the common people with a very competitive price and at the same time a good quality. So where you can save a lot of energy. And as I know, a lot of African countries, they are having a power problem because of more consumption. So when you use this LED, I'm sure up to 60 to 70% you can save the power, especially for street lights. If the government have initiation for changing a street light, a huge amount of energy and money are going to save.
Launched in Cameroon, Lightyear Tech has plans of expanding its horizons in the days ahead. As a matter of fact, their products were exhibited, showing off sizes, shape and quality. With rechargeable bulbs, it is all about lead solution. For some hours, experts explained the functioning of these Lightyear Tech products that are suited for every purpose: household, street lamps, and even decoration. They were equally said to be economical in energy consumption. It is also health advantageous, plus the fact that they have been made less expensive.
A lot of advantages, like starting from the power consumption. As you see in the demo here, up to 60 to 70% power is saving and maintenance free, at least 2 years. Normally, from 1 year to 3 years, and depend upon the light. There is no need of any maintenance, and it is mercury free, environment friendly. All these are the main advantages of LED.
While these are affordable, they are equally available thanks to their partnership with eSports Cameroon as their distributor. Worthy to note is that lead solution is of high quality, accessible to all, making use of modern technologies, and it is environmentally friendly.
Holiday makers in Bafoussam are leaving no stone unturned in the business sector to raise income for this year's school resumption. Marché A serves as a center of concentration as they are spotted here and there with all sorts of goods in a bid to search for income. Details on that with our reporter Wamba Tansi Mirabel.
Early to rise, late to bed is almost a second religion practiced by many in the West region, since business persons constitute more than 70% of the population in this part of Cameroon. A practice which is not only limited within the old, but also the younger generation. This is glaring during this holiday period, which it is a time both pupils and students strive hard to harvest quick catch at Marché A and other areas in Bafoussam through petty trade. They are specialized in both foodstuff, toiletries, textile, second-hand clothes and shoes, amongst others. This student says he sells all year round, but during school period, he comes to the market only on Saturdays and Sundays. He added that the money earned is to take care of his school needs and other family responsibility, as the case may be, since he is from a struggling background. Meanwhile, others simply take off time solely on holidays to raise money for their school fees, while their parents assist them with the buying of books, feeding, and other allowances. On the other hand, some parents impose this petty business on their children, particularly the younger ones, as a means to keep them busy and distract them from the vices in quarters and other neighborhoods. These young minds are found in markets, street corners with either trays, buckets, or wheelbarrow containing all sorts of business items. A good deal indeed, particularly for those who are smart and energetic to go extra mile in order to grab their customers.
On a similar note, occupying the youths during this long holiday is the preoccupation for the Vina 1 subsection of the CPDM party in the Adamawa region. Interquarter football competition is the main activity for this year. Section President Abo Bello just launched the start of the tournament recently in Gaundere, as we hear in the paper that follows, signed in by Hajora Ali.
It is at the Bayangam neighborhood that the two teams officially set the tune for the holiday tournament organized by the CPDM-1 section of VINA under the watchful eyes of the initiator Abo Bello, as he says his dream is to keep the youth busy during this long vacation, using football, a game he'd admire so much. Playing under 10 teams divided into two pools, the Bayangam FC and Paris Saint-Germain showcase a beautiful playing style as the spectators alongside their coaches watch with admiration. The two teams played a neutral game as the initiator expressed his satisfaction. The finals will be played on the 27th of August 2017, giving opportunities for the best team to grab the cup.
Over 11,000 seedlings have been distributed to the youth of Mankwa in Masangam subdivision of the West Region by Honorable Patricia Ndam Njoya. During the occasion, special appeal was made to the women folk to be engaged in the cultivation of cocoa in that area. Details of that story with Mango Granasus.
Makunku, a locality in the Masangam municipality, is renowned for the cultivation of coffee, palm oil, and other tropical products. The production of cocoa had been neglected in this area for long, a crop which can produce excellent results if cultivated. It is within this backdrop that the agro-industrial cooperative known as Copagro, with a mission to promote agriculture, processing and marketing of agricultural products, brought life to Makunku by revitalizing the notion of cocoa production last July 13th. Close to 11,000 cocoa plants have been distributed to some 30 men and women, most of them youth, by Honorable Patricia Tumaino Ndamjoya, member of Copagro.
So happy to be here at Makunku to encourage the youth because they have decided to grow cocoa. This is new in the region because here we used to have coffee farmers, but all of them, young and women, they decided now to have cocoa. And for us in Copagro, we are proud of it.
A gift which was received with much pleasure by the members of the Association of Young Farmers, initiated by Mayor Abubakar Mfopu, calling on the donor association not to relent their support towards these young farmers. In the same vein, Honorable Patricia Ndamjoya highlighted the importance of quality product to these young farmers.
If you have quality, you will have good price. We are care for research to find good variety, which will help to have good plants.
She equally encouraged women to venture into the cultivation of this new crop in their area with assistance from Copagro.
Women are very important, so Copagro assure them a kind of support for their education to obtain good practices.
They could only give what they have, the Kualum dance, as their own way of recognizing this commendable gesture by Copagro.
From agriculture in the Nun division of the West Region of Cameroon, now we will be taking you for what is making news out of our national frontiers. Central African Republic is in need of humanitarian support following ethnic violence that destabilized the country since 2014. Although the tension has reduced, the government is yet to be in full control of the entire country. Details of that with VOA Africa 54.
Of Humanitarian Affairs Chief Stephen O'Brien, who visited the country this week. The spiraling violence between armed factions in a CAR could plunge the country back into a large-scale humanitarian crisis just 4 years after conflict first erupted. More than 1 million people are now displaced, and about a half are living as refugees in neighboring countries. And nearly 1 in 2 people, at least 2.2 million, need aid.
We have seen this new development here in CAR of now a more religious and even ethnic dimension to it, which was not the case when I was here 2 years ago. And this is very serious. So here in Bangassou, we have evidence of why we have a deteriorating situation, but already very good work being done by the humanitarians, both in the UN and our partners beyond. We need to build on that, which is why we so desperately need to now really raise the cash in order to help people who are in desperate need.
Russia says that it is running out of patience over the seizure of its compound by the US and deserves the responsibility to retaliate. More on that with VOA Africa 54 once more.
Russia says they are dachas, used strictly for recreational purposes. U.S. intelligence agencies say they were used for surveillance until they were seized. Pressed by reporters, spokeswoman Heather Nauert refused to comment on the status of negotiations or say whether Secretary of State Rex Tillerson favors giving the compounds back to Russia under certain conditions.
I wouldn't characterize it that way. And look, one of the priorities here is, or the priority here, is to get the United States and Russia to a place where they can have a good, decent, solid relationship so we can work together on areas of mutual cooperation.
Russia is still threatening to retaliate in kind.
This fits standard Soviet and then Russian diplomatic practice. When we catch their spies and expel them, they immediately expel the same number of American diplomats. So they never acknowledge their culpability. And when we take steps to deal with egregious actions on their part, they always take counter steps. It's simply the way they do business.
Herbst said Moscow could retaliate in several different ways.
Well, we also have dachas, or at least had a single dacha in Russia. Conceivably, they could take that away. I remember when Obama took these steps, there was speculation that they were going to close down the major school used by our embassy's children. That would be very nasty indeed. And I would hope and expect that that would prompt a very strong reaction by us if they were to do that.
Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov met Monday at the State Department with U.S. Undersecretary of State Thomas Shannon. Asked if Russia is close to getting its compounds back, Ryabkov replied, almost. Cindy Sain, VOA News, the State Department.
And it is with that VOA News Day from the State Department that we draw the curtain for tonight's newscast. More news will be coming up at 9 p.m., this time around in the French language. The next newscast in the English language will be tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Till then, you can stay tuned to DBS for more information and entertainment. Stay blessed. Good night.